Hey guys, Abraham Mohazy here with KUSI, PPR, Pig from the Past. And we have a very special guest today, good friend of mine, my boy Joey DeMartino. How are you doing, man?
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, man?
Good, good. It's nice to have you on the show, man. Really excited to talk about your journey, where it all started. And let's just jump right on into it,
Yes.
I know you started your journey at Mount Carmel High School. I really want to know, how did you end up at Mount Carmel High School and your experience there?
We lived up there, so we were in Penasquitos, and then I went to Westview at first, and then I was outside the lines, and just wanted to be Mount Carmel. It seemed like a better fit, so I just moved over to there sophomore year, and man, my experience was great there. I mean, I'm still great friends with probably almost every teammate I got on that team still. So, I mean, we had some great memories there. We did as best we could, and yeah, it was a great time.
Nice. And football wise, how was it for you as a football player there at Mount Carmel?
Oh, it was great. It was great. I mean, man, my coaches loved me. Teammates loved me. We all worked hard. I mean, we just had it was just a great team chemistry we all had. I mean, really everybody kind of hung out. So it's like, we didn't have no outcast really. So we all just we got the message together and we were a good team.
For sure, man, for sure. At what age do you think it was for you where you knew like football was like a gateway for you?
Ooh, I think I started noticing it. I'd say freshman year of high school. I say freshman year. I was like, I could take it to another level.
What made it click for you?
And I don't know. Something like my field speed, I guess. I just felt like I could just get better and better and better, like where I was at, and then like how well I did my freshman year. I was like, I could do way better than this, and then I just kind of in my head it clicked. So
that's cool, man. That's cool. And so as a football player at Mount Carmel, were there guys going to like big schools out of high school?
Not really. We didn't like. It's wild, like you said that, because the recruiting process back then, as like to the recruiting process now with the exposure everybody's getting with the social media and stuff, we just didn't have it like that. So I mean, it was a dime a dozen. I mean, we didn't particularly have anybody like getting big time recruited. So yeah, it was kind of hard to get recruited back then. You kind of had to do it yourself.
For sure, for sure. I trust me, I remember that. And one outlet for us was the PPR. Like
Correct.
making it on PPR was like the hottest thing. Do you remember that experience for you?
Oh, that's all you wanted to be on Friday nights after the game. You go after you get the team win, you go to In-N-Out or somewhere wherever you guys eat, and then we're turning on PPR and seeing who's balling out in the San Diego County.
Nice. Do you remember your first time being on PPR? Or do you have like a story anytime that stands out for you?
Yeah, it was opening year at senior year, my senior opening game at Ramona, and I took a kickoff like 98 yards. And so I remember that was on, so I will never forget that. Felt good, and I said I got to be on this every week after that.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. I wanted to ask you about your time after Mount Carmel. Were there any colleges looking at you coming out of high school? Because I know you ended up at Grossmont Junior College, where we got to play together, which was great to watch you play there.
Yes, sir. G House.
G House. I was wondering, what was it like right out of Mount Carmel for you?
It was rough. I mean, I had schools recruiting me, but it just wasn't like, I mean, yeah, we weren't just on that scale of like them just offering scholarships yet like that. So, I had a good amount of smaller schools recruiting me, and I just felt like, I thought I was just a little bit better. Like I can get a little bit further than that. So I ended up actually walking on at Fresno State.
Okay.
So then I went up to Fresno State, walked on, and in the All-Star game, I actually ended up at the end of the game tearing my Achilles in the Spanos game.
Oh.
So right at the end, so that kind of set me back. That's what really set me back, actually.
Right.
So I ended up just saying, I'm gonna go try to walk on at Fresno State. Like I had a decent enough grades to get in, so I went up there, did that, worked out a little, but they weren't gonna offer me a scholarship for a while, basically. And like at that point, I was like, you know what? In my head, I was like, I can get a scholarship. Like, so I ended up saying, I'm going to bounce back and go to Grossmont and then see what I could do. If I'm really about playing football, then I'll be able to get out and get a scholarship. So that was my goal.
For sure, for sure. And I remember at Grossmont, you came out there, you just started wrecking shop, man. It was like, go Joey, go. Every time I remember seeing you play, man. How was
sir.
At Grossmont College?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How was your experience there at Grossmont College?
Oh man, I love Grossmont. That was probably that's top three actually funnest years, man. Our team was. I still see everybody till this day. Dorian Staten, everybody like man, a Homer, Homer
Right.
Malga, all of them, man. Homer's parents used to cook after the games and everything. So, oh yeah, no, the love with our team right there was real. That was real. I loved it.
For sure. Yeah, it was. That was a really good time. A lot of kids, they think like you have to go D1 fresh out of
Mhm.
high school, or it's like you're a bust. But then you get junior college, which is a great second opportunity. What are your thoughts on that, after experiencing that?
I mean, yeah. People think you're bust, but like a lot of beasts in the NFL came from junior college. You got to just realize that. I mean, just because you don't have it all together at that moment after high school doesn't mean it's gonna end for you. And but if you stay focused, I mean, JUCO is the only thing I would say is hard about JUCO is to stay focused, and getting your grades because you're like in junior college, so you want to go hang out and stuff, and you got to make sure football is still your priority. Is like the biggest thing I would say, and getting your schoolwork done. Because
For
without
sure.
that, I know these D1, like my coaches and stuff, and all the coaches I know, they're not going to recruit you if you don't have good grades. Like it's more than football. After that, you got to have good grades, so you're not a problem when you get to the program in college.
Right, exactly. And as far as grades and recruiting, what was that process like for you coming out of Grossmont?
Oh, it's great. I think who was the I think it was Patrick was the athletics counselor. So we set up a plan, and I was already a qualifier because I had done a lot of general education when I was at Fresno. So
Mm.
I just needed to basically complete my AA, and I was good to go. So my route wasn't as hectic because I was already kind of in process of making it go, and my mom was all over the whole NCAA stuff. So she
Right.
knew exactly the classes I needed to take that weren't gonna not count for me to get out. So I was already on a set path, and it was just basically go out there, ball out, and get your schoolwork done.
For sure, for sure. Because that's a part that a lot of guys do forget when they do get to junior college. It's like easy to skip class and not
Oh, easy.
go. No
I'm
one's
guilty.
checking on you like that, so it's nice to have that support system, like your mom was on you.
Oh, she was on me, but I was guilty. I skipped a few classes.
We all did. It was too
Yeah,
easy.
it was too easy. So I had to skip a few. I was tired. So
And what about as far as like football recruits? Did you have any other choices besides the Aggies? So you were in the hat right now.
oh yes, yeah, go Aggies, go Aggies. Hey, we're doing good this year. Yeah, I did. Actually I was recruited pretty heavily by Auburn. So I was
Oh,
looking at going to Auburn. I think it was it Gus Malzone was the coach then. So yeah, he was pretty Army heavy. Few Pac-12, like Washington State, UCLA. I mean, I had a good wide range. Some Big Ten. I remember Iowa State was contacting me a lot. Iowa, the university was contacting me. Michigan State. But I when I went on my trips, I just when I got to Utah State, I met some real dope people. Like Bobby Wagner was there.
oh wow.
Robert Turbin was there. Played for the Seahawks. Both of them at the Seahawks actually, and they just kind of like really like gave me like a good like set of standard because I was like, man, these guys look NFL ready when I got there. Like they're a
Right.
beast. So I mean, I just loved how like it was a very small town like in Utah, Logan, Utah. So it was the culture there. Like it was just like play football, get it done, and try to get to the next level. So I fell in love with the culture there. So yeah, that was my decision.
So how was it once you got there?
Uh, whew, it was rough. I mean, I was behind a stable of running backs. I wasn't used to not playing, So I
Right.
mean, yeah, like I said, we had Robert in front of me, my friend, my boy Kerwin. All of them got drafted, So I had to wait my turn. And I mean, and that's the part where like I noticed a lot of people where I could have actually just fell off, because like it hurts your pride because like you're the man wherever you come from, like you're the baller on the team, you're number one, like or
Right.
whatever. Then you come around to competition in Division 1, everybody was that baller, like high school or JUCO. So
Right.
like it's like an ego check for you at that point. Like you can either fold under the pressure or, just like you can ride it out. But now I guess they have the transfer portal. So you have a way out now. Because
Right. Right.
back then you can just transfer. You got to like go to a different whole D2 or something. And yeah. And I was like, I'm not going down. Like I'm going to stay. And, I wrote it out and then, by the grace of God, I got my time and then I did what I had to do. So
How long do you have to wait your turn?
3 years.
Dang.
3 years. Yeah.
Most guys won't even wait a month.
bro. Tell me about it, man. Like, trust me, it was a real mental challenge for me to get through that because there was days I didn't even want to wake up and go to practice. I was like, man, I'm not even gonna play. Like, but you gotta stick it out, man. Like, cause God always has a plan for everybody. So if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If it's not, He has a different route for you.
Hey, and thankfully you did because you ended up having a great senior year over there at Utah State. What was that like for you?
Oh man, it was magical. Like it was the way it just went down. Like finally got my start versus USC. So that was like my,
Wow.
the dream, the dream school. You coming from San Diego, like that was
Right.
USC was kind of like the school because of Reggie Bush. So
Yeah.
like I got my first start when we went to the Coliseum, and then I just first carry took it like 70, and then
Dang.
like I was like it was after that I was like I could do this, and then I was like let's go.
Hey, first carry, 70-yarder. I know that was just like a boost of confidence.
Oh man, my phone was going wild. I see you on TV. I'm like, oh yeah. So then I just fell in love with that feeling.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And then what was it like as soon as the season was done? And then your journey to get to the NFL?
Right. Okay. So right when season was done, it was basically try to get an agent. So agents were contacting me and stuff, like people that that felt like I had a chance, and then basically got right into combine training and pro day training. So came back to San Diego. I had to come back home. Trained
Right.
at Fitness Quest 10 with Todd Durkin. So
Nice.
yeah, they got me right over there. Yeah, one of the best of the best. Yeah, trained Drew Brees, Darren Sproles. I was there with Darren Sproles and all them, like training, and like they were great guys, mentors and stuff. Like non-selfish, just teaching you the game all the time. Like so, it was just great people and a great energy. And like I balled out on my pro day. I ran 4.38 at my 40.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's what put me on the map is when I ran the 4.3 twice. So I was running like 4.38 and like a 4.386 or something. So that's when all the coaches, like NFL coaches, started contacting my agent, and I was like, oh shoot, I might actually get to play at the next level. And
Dang.
so, yep.
And then what was it like? Were you expected to get drafted, or were you just expected to get picked up after the draft?
I mean, obviously, first expectation was getting drafted. I mean, but I knew I was coming out with a stable of running backs that year. It was a stable, and like they weren't actually picking up that many backs as they did in the previous years. It was like the year the running back fell off. So I got picked up in the aftermath, like right after it was over, I got called. And so I had like three options. I got the call from Kansas City. I got the call from Chicago Bears and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Nice.
So
you had a choice at that point?
Yeah, I had a choice. I mean, it's kind of like, I like the vibe of Kansas City. Andy Reid he's from Utah. He went to BYU.
Okay.
So, yep. So he always like had a knack. He has a knack for getting kids out of Utah. So I was like, let me go over there, and just let's do what I can do. I knew it was gonna be a long road because like they had Jamal Charles and everybody. So yeah. So it's like you got to understand your place. I mean, but once you can understand that and grasp that, like I feel like you could play better and just feel better about going out there instead of being salty that you're not going to play or something like that.
Right.
And the main thing was for me was just keep getting it on film because like I knew I was like, man, I might not be here. My agent kept it real too. He's like, like they got Jamal Charles, Cyrus Gray, all these like first, second rounders like that they've had there that they're paying a lot of money and it's a business. So like he's like, you just need to go put it on film every day. So that's what I did.
Nice. And how was that experience there with your time?
Oh, I loved it. It was great. I mean, it was short, brief. Got let go. Then right after that, so they cut me right during in camp, and after that, I was like kind of sad and depressed. I was like, oh no, it's over. And then literally right when I got flown back to San Diego, Green Bay had called me and they're like, we need you here today, like tonight. So I was on a red-eye flight to Green Bay, like within 24 hours. Like the process is wild. Like you really like, if you're like just in the back end of the draft, you're just bouncing around in a suitcase. So like I only had like a pair of boxers and a few outfits and like my laptop because they're going to give you your clothes when you get there. And then, you just go to practice.
Wow, man. Wow. And then, so how long were you doing that, bouncing around as a free agent?
Man, probably like year and a half, about two. And then like, it's just kind of like, you kind of like, it's wild. Like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. Like when you kind of like feeling like, it's kind of like, man, I don't know. Like, it's just not like, I'm not catching the right place at the right time. And I'm not going to, for myself, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and pray somebody gets hurt for me to, like have to go play, because like a lot of the times I was getting cut was because somebody got hurt, but they need to fill the roster spot. So, and I'm I'm the fourth string running back, so I already know I'm going home. But
Right.
the best part was, I mean, the coaches were all good. Like Andy Reid was cool, McCarthy was cool in Green Bay. Like he's like, they're like, I would just be like, honestly, ask them. I was like, hey, what did I need to do to get better? And like, they're like, honestly, you didn't really do nothing wrong. Like we just need to fill a roster spot. And I was like, okay. So they brought me back a few times. I got to come back and play with them a few times. So, I mean, they kept their end. So like at the end of the day, I was never mad. Like I was like, it just wasn't my place. I wasn't at the right place at the right time. And that's okay. I'm healthy. Like, so that's what I really took away from it. Like I'm healthy and I'm like, I'm all good.
For sure. And after your about year and a half, 2 years of chasing a spot as a free agent, what was your next step from there?
That's a hard transition right there. I mean, coming into the real world from just, your one mindset's, you're just trying to play football forever. That's the thing that kind of hurt. Like I need to take like a year off and just like clear my head, And then after about a year, I was like, you know what? I'm good with it. Like once you come to peace with everything, then like, I was like, it's time to go into a whole nother world, like the workforce. And so luckily I was blessed, I had a next door neighbor. He worked in the government. And so then he's like, I was always really, it's always about you got to be nice to everybody. You never know who's out there that can help you out. And he's like pretty big time in the government. He's like, hey, what are you doing after this on Thanksgiving? I just walked to my parents' house. And he's like, I was like, nothing. I was like, I'm looking for a job. He's like, you want to come work for me? And I was like, sure. And then like, he brought me in. I got like a government clearance, secret security clearance and everything. Like, and then ever since then, I've just been working with the government on the government side.
Wow, man, that's pretty impressive. Not too many people, like I say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And you're just a good person. You have such a great personality. Everyone loves you and gave you that second opportunity. So what is it? So what exactly do you do for what you can tell us?
For what I can. So right now we do, so I just got done with the gig. I'm a contractor. So I'm a government contractor basically. So my last gig, I just got back during COVID. When COVID was happening here, I had to go to Iraq. So I was in Iraq.
Wow.
We talked about it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, we did a lot of surveillance in Iraq. So that's basically from what I could speak on.
Right. That's cool, man. That's really cool. And you have a family now and you're all settled here in San Diego again?
Yes, sir. Got a beautiful family. I got my boy right now, expecting a girl. So
man, congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Hey, these kids will change everything. Forget football. These kids are everything.
Forget it. Yeah, exactly. So, that's all my focus right now is just making sure my family's good. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. What goals have you set for yourself? What can we expect from Joey?
Goals, like work goals, or what kind of goals?
Any goals that you can share with us? What do you have, in mind?
Man,
work
right
goals.
now,
What's your work goals? What about work goals?
I'm going to open up. I mean, my goal right now is I'm just trying to get in position to open up my own business. So
there we go.
So I want to open up my own business and work for myself. So that's my goal right now. And so I got more time because, as you know, this job at work, I travel a lot. So, and I'm out of country a lot. So I want to be home more, like, and set my own like schedule and stuff like that. So that's the goal I'm really working for.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yes. I already know, I always say business is like football. It's a grind,
Oh, it's
even times when it's dark and you've seen the dark, out of it.
Yes, sir.
There's always light though at the end of the tunnel if you keep grinding out, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you got to take, honestly, like when I got into the workforce, and I'm sure as you understood, like if you just take the work ethic that you had in football and take it into the workforce, I mean, you're going to be golden. Like, and then you're just kind of like football. If you had a great coach and a great team, like you guys understood, like there was a harder work ethic, and like I just took it right to the workforce with me. And like honestly, like I've been blessed. I've done nothing but move up since then. I know how to come to work every day be there on time and just give it your all. Like it all pays off. So
that's
yes,
awesome.
Sir.
That's awesome. If you could leave some of these kids that get to see this some words of advice, what would you say for them following your footsteps coming out of high school?
Honestly, I would tell you, if that's what you really want to do is play football, you should never give up on it. Like you can always get there, man. Like it's just it's all about, it's mental. Everything, it's more 90%. Like my coach, all of our coaches used to tell us this, like my Andy Reid used to always say it's 90% mental, 10% physical. Like if you can like understand that in your head, that like everything is just in your head and you got to just work it out. And if you can fight through all the mental pain that you're going to go through, because there's ups and downs, obviously. And if you could fight through that, then honestly, you could do anything. So,
Man, appreciate that. That's some great words of advice from the great Joey
ah,
DeMartino. Hey man, it was
dang.
definitely great catching up. I really appreciate you coming onto the show. I know we had a hard time trying to catch each other, but
All right,
we
it's all
finally
good.
did it, man. I really
Yes.
appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you too, man. Thank you for having me.
Definitely, man. Definitely.